And as I told you in the previous video, we will see you in the next one, which is now. Now is the next video. What is happening here? Why is dynamic on this brush? By the way, this dynamic is a plague. Dynamic for the brushes has to be off. So I may tell you a little bit about the dynamics. So I will tell you in this video. So I will know that if a guy asked me about the dynamic of the brush, let me put my if somebody asked me about dynamics of the brush, so he wasn't watching this video. He hasn't gone this far into the video. So the dynamics of the brushes are the things that if we move closer to the image or move back, the brush will change. And let me show you. So dynamic, if I turn it on by double clicking on this little dynamic thing here on the draw size, now the brush is the size of his, let's make it the size of his shoulder, for example, around the shoulder size. So I will zoom in and the brush is still the size of his shoulder, which is bad. I don't like that. I like to be able to zoom in and out and my brush to remain the same size as it is right now. That's at least my type of work. So if I want, for example, to do some very fine work, I will see the size of the brush now is the same size now. So I can do a very fine work by just zooming in and out and not changing the brush size, because changing the brush size a lot. Big changes in the brush size are a little bit of pain in some parts of the body which are below the back. So in the lower back, yeah, pain in the lower back, but a little bit below the lower back, whatever. So it will be a pain to change the size all the time, like super big or super small. I just use the zoom in, do this, zoom out, do more like big things and stuff like this. So yeah, bear that in mind. So the dynamics, I turn them off. There's a plugin which can turn off all the dynamics. It's in Z plugin, I think MISC utilities, dynamic on off, but I haven't installed it in this version of ZBrush, because what I did is I installed this version of ZBrush, which is 2021 6.6. Now we have 2022, of course, but 2021 6.6, I installed it, and then I realized I did this plugin about the activation of the dynamic modes of all brushes and then save all brushes, and then I realized that one thing that I needed this version of ZBrush for is missing, which was in, I think it was in mask. It was mesh extrude or mesh balloon or mesh project. Oh, it was mesh project, I think. It was missing. And I was like, what's happening now? It's missing. So I was pretty confused. And then I reinstalled ZBrush and then put the plugin again. And then I realized it was from the plugin. And I had to do it manually. So to do it manually, I just disable dynamic of any brush. For example, I only work with 7 or 8 brushes mostly. So I disable dynamic for them. So I go to standard brush, which is 1 in our case. I disable dynamic. I go to B and then save as. And then save in the ZBrush folder. I'm not sure exactly where it was. This. But I should be able to tell you. If you are interested, you can ask me, of course. You can ask me in my ArtStation page, which is Nikolai Naidenov, or you can ask me if you bought the course from Udemy. You can ask me in the question and answer section in Udemy, or whatever. So now this mesh here, let me tell you again what this mesh is for. This is now a 3D sketch of this helm. This helm will not be made from one mesh, but we are making it from one mesh so we can see what's happening here, how to kind of see what we will do when we are making it with more meshes. But in the beginning, it's better. If you have watched one of my other courses, you will know that I kind of like to do this just to make sure that everything is okay. Yeah, we will lose a little bit of time, but not too much. So probably we will be okay. So here we'll make this part This probably will go a little bit forward, and it will be closer to the horns. And the horns are like this, okay? By the way, the horns, I think, are not in the right place. Probably this we should take a little bit more back, and the horns themselves could go a little bit more forward. But we'll see. So for this kind of armor that I will do, the 3D sketch of it, I will use mainly 3 brushes, which are the high polish brush, brush number 5 in our case. So with the 5 number, you select this brush. So brush 5 is our high polish brush. It's very, very important brush. Smooth brush, I use always, but yeah, we know that. Smooth brush is completely normal to be used. And inflate brush and move brush. So those brushes I use a lot. High polish, move, inflate, high polish, damp standard, and of course smooth brush. But smooth brush is not exactly a brush, it's a shift with every brush, so yeah, we don't worry about that too much. So let's see. Now this part of the head, I will pull it up a little bit, and then here I will smooth, and then I will make this go through this area here, and then we'll make place for the horns, like this, because the horns are, it's very interesting, by the way, when I think about it now. So this dragon has a helmet, right? And the horns have just little holes that the horns are coming from in the helmet. So how did he put the helmet on? First from the back, like to go through the holes, and then put it here. Probably something like this, yeah. It's not that complicated, it's fine. I thought it's more complicated than that, but it's not, it's fine. Alright, so with few brushes we can make this kind of thing work, but we'll see. So basically, most of the time when I do this 3D sketch, I copy my main mesh first, and then I do it. But this time I decided to just do it on the main mesh, which is not a good thing, by the way. And what I'll do is I will stop doing it. Yeah, because I remembered. I will stop doing it now. I will duplicate this particular mesh, and I will continue doing it on the duplicate mesh. And the bottom mesh, we will kind of deflate it a little bit. Or we will inflate the other one. But first, so this, let's decide which one to use. So I will use the bottom one just for the helmet. So yeah, it will be just for the helmet, so I will just get rid of the rest. I don't need it. I need just the helmet. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm just a little bit like this. So, del hidden, close holes, it's alright. So this menu that we're going to get with Control-Shift-Alt-A, the shortcut, it's super useful. So yeah, I advise you to use it. Then here I will go and with the inflate brush deflate only the helmet part and just smooth it also. Why am I doing this? This will be the body. This will be the main body, which we will connect with the legs and with the arms and with everything. And we don't need the helmet, even the 3D sketch of the helmet, to be with this body. We'll need it to be kind of free. And let's see. Okay, now this is our helmet, and the body below I will just, with the standard brush and Alt, I will just kind of hide it a little bit, and then I will Alt click on the duplicated mesh, which now is our helm, and I will continue working on the 3D sketch. I think it's kind of, it's not simple. Of course, nothing is simple, especially if it's new for you. But I think if you kind of don't understand it exactly, you can watch that again. And I advise, by the way, at some point for everybody to watch again every course that he bought. For example, you bought a course especially for human anatomy, for example. Yeah, human anatomy courses, I personally watch the courses that I like almost once a year. especially if I want to improve my anatomy. If I want to improve my anatomy, and when I want to improve my anatomy, when I make a course about anatomy. And for example, I made a course about anatomy this year, so I studied anatomy like for maybe 3 months before I made the course. I watched anatomy courses, I made a lot of studies, a lot of anatomy figures I made, until I decided that I'm good enough to make the course. So my course is for superhuman anatomy. It's with Superman, probably you have seen it. And I talk about a lot of things, a lot of muscles, a lot of forms, everything is, yeah. But this kind of courses, you definitely need to watch more than once. You watch them, then you practice, then you watch them again after a few months of practice, and you will see more things. Probably the same is for this kind of courses, because this dragon, although it seems pretty simple and many people will buy this course, probably you have bought it also, by thinking it's simple and it's nice and it will be very easy to make, it's a walk in the park. It's not exactly that. But that's why it's very, very nice for studying. It's very nice for teaching people exactly with this particular model, because it's fun, it looks fun, and it has a lot of things. It has armor, it has many elements like horse, like weapon, like gloves. He doesn't have any clothes, but let's say this thing of the for the horse is a little bit like a cloth, so we can say that, yeah. But other than that, it's a pretty good kind of exercise, this dragon, because it has a lot of things, particularly this concept, and that's why I kinda like it, and I wanted to make a course with it. Maybe I decided to make a course with it like 9 months ago, I'm not sure. So now I'm using high polish brush a lot, just to kind of make those armors a little bit more precise or something, but it's we don't care about that much. We care about just, you see how those armors here, let me just increase the size, okay. You see how those armors are kind of, this is bigger, this is a little bit smaller, and this is almost the same distance here. This here also, it's not a big difference in the distance, but in our case, it's pretty big. For example, this one here, the top one, the top ring is, this distance is pretty big, so I will have to just do this. Now, with the 3D sketch, it's easy to do this. Of course, when you have those things in with different geometry, it will not be as difficult to make this. But anyway, I think it's better to do this. And then when we put our kind of those things on the end, it will become pretty nice. So I'm looking forward on making this nicely. But before that, we'll make a 3D sketch of all the things like gloves and everything, and it will be a good exercise also for everybody. I will not make those things here yet. I will leave it for the final image. I think it will be more appropriate this way, but we'll see. It doesn't matter that much. Yeah, I just want to see also how the model will look at the end, kind of. For example, I will go to a little bit darker color, and then I will go to metal here in the bottom, and then I will go to mRGB on whatever brush I am, mRGB, and then fill object, and then I will get off the mRGB and go back to my basic and go back to one color which is a little bit more white in this. And now you see I have this metal feeling which looks fine. Of course, the object itself that I applied the metal to, it's not exactly good looking, but it will give us a little bit of an idea how our object will look, how our helmet will look at the end, which is great. I like that. All right, so now what I want to do is to connect the hands, the arms, I mean, and the body. It will be nice to do this connection. I don't know if I will connect the tail and the body. Probably we have to do it, but first let's connect the hands, the arms. Let's move them a little bit further away from the body, because I want here between the body and the arm itself, I need to have a little bit of space. And then I will tell you what we'll do. So let's find out where they are. So here are the arms. Where is the body? Here is the body. So in order to connect them, to make them one subtool, I will put them down. And we will connect also the legs. So legs, body, and arms are just above each other. So I will go to the legs and then merge down. So merging down is the main way how I connect subtools in ZBrush. So let's do this. Merge down. It will ask us, you cannot undo this. Are you sure? Yes. And before you do this, you better save your file, because it can go wrong. So I press OK, and then it connects the body and the legs, and then I will merge down again to connect the arms, because I know they are below. So now this is one subtool here. And what I will do is I will Dynamesh. Let's see, with Dynamesh with 32 resolution, it's not very nice. I mean, see, the fingers are going crazy. So I will go with 60, around 60. Probably for me it will work. Yeah, 60 is working fine for now. Of course, I will smooth this area here around the shoulders. It shouldn't be that harsh. Smoothing here also, smoothing here, smoothing the back. I can make something like an ass here, although it's not gonna be an ass like ass, since he has this tail which is coming out from his spine. And by the way, in 3D it looks like it's coming from his ass. But whatever, it's fine with me. I don't care if it's coming from his behind. So for those scales here in the front, let's just kind of mask as we used to mask. So I will mask this. I will mask the one that's like one next to it, not the next one, but the next one. I don't know how to say it. And then I will mask this one, and now I will mask the most bottom one here, although it will probably not be visible, but whatever. Yeah, this is a little bit strange. But now I will try with my move brush to just move this forward, move this, move the upper part here backward and the lower part forward. You see what I'm doing here? And I can smooth, I can do a little bit of, you know, more detailing. Of course, we will do a little bit of detailing face later. We'll do this kind of stuff, cracks or something. We will do this at some point. But for now, we need just the basic shape. I will invert the mask with just control clicking outside the object. And that's the beauty of ZBrush, because you just can do operations with masks super easy. And of course, you should first learn to do them. And it will be a little bit difficult, like everything new. But at some point, you will do them just like that, just like snapping the fingers. It will be super easy and super nice. So I advise you to try it, working with masks. Very nice in ZBrush. Alright, I did this, and probably I will just with the standard brush push here and pull here. So with the standard brush I just draw like this, and then with Alt I draw up. And here I will make this. And I think this is okay now. Of course, there are a little bit, you know, this is too wide and another one is too something. So we have to kind of deal with this kind of things, but it's okay. We can do it. So I will try to inflate them a little bit with my standard brush, just standard brush drawing like this, and it's probably gonna work a little bit. Okay, here, like this, just with the dumb standard brush, and we are almost over with this video. Yeah, it's 20 minutes for 3D sculpting are not a big time. I mean, it's not a lot of time. So yeah, but we have to end this video and continue in the next one. We have done a great job in this video because we have connected the arms and the legs, and now it looks like one homogeneous form. Homogeneous. Yeah, homogeneous is I think it's the word. It's looking like a one homogeneous form, and it's looking better, far better. When you have the arms and the legs separated, it looks like a doll. It doesn't look real, and now it looks not real, but it looks kind of more realistic a little bit. And we have the helmet, and when we have the real helmet with the separate parts, it will be far more cleaner. Everything will be sharp, everything will be clean, and I will tell you a lot more things about how to make those armored parts look nice, because there is a little bit of a trick in there. You have to be careful, but this will be later. For now, I think we have done a great job, and I'm starting to like it, which is not exactly a good thing, but hopefully it is. Yeah, I'm not used to like my things too much, but this I start to like. Of course, here we have to maybe move it a little bit more, and this probably down. Yeah, we need to do a few things, but overall it's looking promising. It's looking promising. So yeah, we will continue with this in the next video, of course.